Welcome to the Game Changer 00100 show. I'm your host, Game Changer. And today we're going to talk about the woman that you see on your screen here. She exposed Fresh and Fit. Now, people are probably wondering, I know some people in my email have asked me to do a follow-up, to talk about this whole Fresh and Fit situation. And y'all see me talk about it on other things. To be honest, the reason why I avoided doing that is because, quite frankly, I hate kicking brothers when they're down. I know the type. I've been down in this whole YouTube game before, as many of you know, and it's just something about that rubs me the wrong way, especially since I have been more or less neutral on Fresh and Fit. I don't really watch their stuff too often. And, it's just a decent show that if I have time, I'll catch 15 minutes of in the middle of the night. It's not, that's how I seen them. It was cool. It was, just was what it was. And, wasn't really my place to say, okay, I'm going to kick these dudes while they're down, because they have been taking a series of L's lately. And to be quite frank, it's all their fault. Like, it's something that could have been avoided. And, the fight with Preach or what have you, that could have been avoided. They were doing things that should not have been done. And as a result, they lost a lot of subscribers, and it kind of just blew up in their face. Made a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that I wouldn't have done, but I have made mistakes too in the past. So I didn't want to just come out and just thump on them like that. However, the woman on the screen did. She kind of waited in the clouds and I don't know how long, but she waited in the background for the perfect opportunity to just kick them. Like, I mean, to me, I have to say, quite frankly, it's brilliant. It's brilliant that she did it now. What it is the woman on the screen is doing is brilliant that she just out of nowhere said, or not out of nowhere, but she was like, something, I'm going to wait. This YouTube thing, this entertainment podcast, or whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of ups and downs in it. And I am going to wait to your next down to pull you down further. What it appears that she did was she let the situation come up a bit, and then a little bit later she's like, okay, people are going to start to forget, and just when you think that they've taken their last L that began with the whole broadcast of Abba and Preach, I'm gonna try to add another one on, like at the perfect timing. So she's done this before. She has destroyed men before. And I'm not saying she's destroying Fresh and Fit. I'm just saying that she's not a rookie in what she's doing. She's not. So that is something I want to note. Secondly, and this is going to give like an overall, my overall opinion on the Fresh and Fit situation. Go ahead and hit that like button before I get into that, though. Let's see, I got 28. Let me get to, let's see, that's about, not really 35, but let's just say 30. Let me get 33. So greatly appreciate that. If you haven't already, hit that like button. I appreciate you. All right. So let's see who we have here while I wait to do that. Tom Brokaw, appreciate you. Okay, Lightbringer, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Sweet Melody Speaks, thanks for being a channel member. Deacon Dave, also thank you for being a channel member. Yusef Haslim, thank you for being a channel member as well. Nico, appreciate you. Kit Klaus, thanks for being a channel member. Number 16, appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed movie night. Appreciate you, brother. All right, and Sam the Melody, hope you enjoyed movie night. Latrell, appreciate you. Let's see, Zero, appreciate you. I talk shit. All right, I appreciate you too. And let's see, Will Brown, Canis, Black Intro TV, salute to you. I'm subscribed to your channel. All right, and Marathon Man Podcast, salute. Mike Shinnery, peace, brother. All right, so got the likes that I need. I appreciate everybody. All right, so the way I feel about the whole Fresh and Fit situation is it's inevitable. Listen, y'all know how and why I feel the way that I do about online dating coaches. But for those of you who don't know, it's really all about the fact that they have to promote a lifestyle. Like if I met a dating coach in real life, I probably wouldn't even have anything against him because chances are he's not going to promote his lifestyle to me. You know, he's going to just live his lifestyle and I live mine. And if we were close enough friends, we would just live our lives together, you know, and we would be friends for reasons other than how many we would be acquainted for reasons other than how many females one or another obtain. However, because your relationship to your audience is a lot different. You want to aggrandize your love life while at the same time shitting on everyone else's. Also, I suspect, and this video here kind of confirms it, but this is what I suspect about a lot of online dating coaches, is that a lot of the dudes are faking it until they make it. Basically, their goal of becoming ladies' men consists of pretending to be a ladies' man, gaining a reputation as a ladies' man, and using that reputation or the residual effects of that reputation to pull ladies. Women are weird that way. They kind of like want what other women want, so they make the appearance that they are wanted by other women in order to attract women. So what we're seeing now, and this is not necessarily the case in Fresh or Fit, but what we see now is a lot of dating coaches or would-be dating coaches who are trying to make their bones. They're faking it. They're pretending to be ladies' men, and so you know, they get all the guys to come to them for advice, and then they're seen by the ladies giving advice, and they're like, "Oh, you're a ladies' man. Let me give you some pussy." And then they use that pussy to say, "See, I'm a ladies' man." And then, so it's really a strange endeavor that would not be necessary if the original program that you're trying to instill into others worked. So that's my overview of dating coaches, and a lot of that feeling about them is spilled onto Fresh and Fit. Now, to be fair, until I was on the Bernard Riley show, I didn't actually know that Fresh and Fit were dating coaches. I just thought that they were having red pill conversations with women. So that's my stance on that. All right, so into the video. This woman says that, I believe it's Fit, even though she confuses him with Fresh, was the one that tried to hit on her. Or I don't know if I'd call it hitting, maybe like proposition her, but let's just play the video. Fair use.
What's up, y'all? My name's Anna Plan. I just wanted to take a minute to make a quick video about the whole Fresh and Fit situation, just give you guys an update. And also, I never really made a video to explain what happened and share the truth and the facts on my own page. So I want to make this quick. I want to make it clear so you have all the evidence in front of you. And I just want to share what's going on because this is someone who claims to be a male self-improvement podcast, the top, the best, and they have over 400,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I didn't know until I looked into.
Okay, right there. By the way, she is a feminist. And by definition, it means I don't like her. So if y'all think that I'm going to be biased in the favor of her or against Fresh and Fit for any reason whatsoever, then no. I haven't watched any of her videos other than this one. And yeah, she, from this video, I could tell she's a feminist. She used words like male. That's a key giveaway. So yeah.
And they are creating a culture of hateful, mean, I'm not going to continue commenting, but just they're creating a disgusting culture of men who treat women like crap. And so I'm taking a stand and I'm sharing because I can.
So right now, she's taking down men in defense of women, and she's doing it because she can. So now you know how I feel about her. She does not like no matter what, that these guys are red pilling men. She feels that men should behave a certain way, and that way should be advantageous to her and womankind. And anything outside of that, she must take down. So, not a fan of hers. Lightbringer, you're not blocked.
I will be providing evidence. Let me switch over so when I edit it, you can be here. Basically, Myron reached out to me. He is half of Fresh and Fit. I think he's fresh, but I don't think he's.
I think he's fit. Keep in mind, just like her, I didn't really know much about the two of them until the Bernard Riley show.
Fresh. I think his name is. He was fresh on the podcast, but he reached out to me and wanted to do a podcast, or wanted me to collaborate with him for his show. At the time, I don't know what his following is now, but he had like 10,000 followers on Instagram. I have had at that time around like 42,000, 40,000, something like that. And so I didn't respond to the DM, to be honest. Then one of my friends, who I'm gonna leave anonymous right now, just because I haven't discussed with him whether or not I can share his identity, told me, hey, one of my boys reached out to you, wants to film some content with you. He has a really popular channel, so you should do it. So I actually responded to the DM and I was like, hey, what's up? He said, let's do a collab. I was like, okay, cool. I was actually planning a trip to Miami. So I told him, like, this is what I'm going to be in Miami. I wasn't going to pay to come out to be on his show. And I hadn't even looked into his show. I just kind of went off of the.
I wonder what that means. I wonder, was she asking him to pay for her to come out to the show? Because she said I was going to be in Miami anyway, which means that she had plans on paying to go to Miami and she was trying to get money from them. She's like, okay, I plan to go to Miami anyway, but if I could do it on your dime, then let's do it, which is perfectly fine. I want to kind of gauge where her moral compass is. I wouldn't say she's a bad person for doing that, because you are providing something to them. So just want to point that out, how she viewed the situation.
Friend's recommendation. So Myron and I went back and forth. I'm just going to pull up the text so I don't say anything that's not true. He asked me when the soonest I was going to be out there is. I told him that I was planning on being there Friday. He said he wasn't going to be available then. And then he asked me a relationship question. For some reason, I did not see that or that part of the message, or I was busy or whatever. So I said, do you want to make it happen, or should I plan for next week? And he said it'd have to be next week. So we're just discussing logistics. I answered his questions that I'm not dating anyone right now. Dated someone a couple months last year, but before that I was single, and I love talking on that topic. He said, oh, okay, cool. I'm up for that. I'm not going to do anything platonic with you, just being honest. And I thought he was reaching out for a collaboration because we're both.
Okay. That would fall under the category of, shout out to Alan Roger Curry. That would fall under the category of mode 1. Let me see where I'm at on the likes. Let me get 10 more. Y'all know I like to do it. Multiply it by 0.7. So let me get 11 more actually. So greatly appreciate it. Let me get 11 more likes. So this would fall under the category of mode 1. I don't want to do anything platonic. However, once again, and this is why I say that mode 1 is situational based. It's not what you do all the time. And that's because it's off-putting sometimes to be so forward. It just is. And that's okay if you have such an abundance that you really don't care about loot. 10 more. Y'all gave me 10 more likes. 10 more likes, please. All right, 64. Yeah, let me get to 71. Thank you. 65. 67. Thanks a lot. All right, 8. Come on now. All right, 69. All right. All right, there we go. Thanks a lot. Greatly appreciate it. All right, so now we got the likes up. Yeah, so this was definitely a mode 1 attempt. I'm not looking for anything platonic and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to knock his approach. directly. What I will say is that I wouldn't have done that. Because to be quite frank, well, to be perfectly frank, I'm not really that attracted to her. Like, I have seen more attractive women on the Fresh and Fit show. So to be perfectly frank, that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't do that. And secondly, I would feel it better just having her on the show. Like, to me, it's more important having her on the show or having the women on the show than it is my sexual gratification. It just is. And maybe that's because I'm older than I think I'm older than Fit. You know, maybe not, but or maybe I'm just built different. But anyway, you know what it is? I think it's more of a business before pleasure mentality. That's what it is. And that's probably why I wouldn't have done it anyway. However, if I felt like overly compelled to do it, I would have used a different approach. But I think part of their hook, part of at least Fit's hook, is I get it under these circumstances. I tell them I'm direct and upfront. Gives you more bragging right with the fellas, and it makes you seem like more of a dating coach. Yeah. And makes people want to buy your product. All right. So.
Both well known in the fitness industry. And, you know, my Instagram following is larger than his. So at the time, I still know he had a 400, you know, him and his partner have a $400,000 subscriber YouTube page. But I have been approached about collaborations before. And so since I was going to be out there, I was down to do it. So when he said, I'm not trying to do anything platonic with you, it was completely left field for me because I was only thinking we were going to do some kind of fitness related content collab. And he said, no problem. I collab directly with.
Yeah. That's, once again, I'm not going to say it's bad, but I wouldn't have done it because y'all weren't really on that topic. Like, y'all were talking business, and then like in the middle of business, you just threw in the word platonic, you know, which is like the absence of a negative. But I get why you did it that way. But you brought up sex. You know, because if a platonic relationship is a non-sexual relationship, then a non-platonic relationship is a sexual one. So you brought up sex indirectly, which probably is like mode 1.5 or something like that. But nevertheless, that was you doing that, you know, in the middle of a conversation about business. Not really how I would have gone about doing that. And don't come to me for, I'm not a dating coach. So don't say, what would you have done, GC? Like, I am, trust me, that's one stream of income I could do without. All right.
With girls I date, no pressure though. And I was like, so if we aren't dating, you don't want to collab? Because he's never even asked me on a date at this point. So I was like, he said, no, don't mean to be an a-hole, but we have plenty of women in Miami. And I said, well, same, we have plenty of men here in California, so why would I fly to Miami to date someone who I know nothing about? And he said, simple, attractive women are common, high value men are not.
Okay. Once again, hey, shout out to Myron, shout out to Fresh. I would not have gone about it that way. His approach consists of, you should fuck me because there's a lot of attractive women out here to fuck. I can see that working with someone who's how can I say, isolated. I could see that working with someone who's isolated. I see that working with someone who lives in a very rural part of America and don't have the internet. And she's also unaware that she's attractive because she lives in a very small town and, you know, there's only like 8 guys her own age. And she's like, because what he's doing is he's selling the city. He's selling the atmosphere that he lives in to somebody who doesn't live in that atmosphere. It doesn't really, I can't really see that working outside of that setting, and that setting doesn't really exist any longer, because most women know exactly where they stand. You know, that whole farmer's daughter thing, the women who don't know that she's pretty because she lives in such a secluded area, like that doesn't really exist anymore. So women pretty much understand exactly where they stand, and they don't care. Like, okay, you're telling her that you live in Miami and you have access to beautiful women. You still haven't really expressed to her why she should have sex with you. I guess that's what I'm getting at. That was just like I have beautiful women. Like, you have to compete, but you haven't really expressed to her you haven't told her about the trophy. So, little different than how I would have approached. And I did mock approaches on here before, so you guys kind of have like an idea of what I do, but little different than, yeah, this is interesting.
I'm not going to comment on that yet. No hard feelings, though. I said, you haven't proven to me that you're a high value man. And actually, I know quite a few high value men. I'm not just an attractive woman. I'm an entrepreneur with a 6-figure business and a high profile assets. I'm nothing but confident.
Oh God. Oh God. And once again, like I say, I wouldn't have found myself in this position because, quite frankly, I don't want to fuck her. You know, I mean, not saying that I would, you know, from what I see, she's probably just like undone right now. She got the, you know, syrup woman, the white syrup woman, you know, bonnet or whatever you want to call that on her head. But, whatever, she's not like looking like anything I would be eager to smash. However, you know, if I walked in, because earlier today I went to the dollar store to get some cleaning supplies. And if I opened the door and she was like there in my bed naked, you know, I wouldn't not fuck her. Like, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't, like, if I seen her in a dollar store, I wouldn't have tried to get at her or anything. Like, that's kind of like where she stands on that. But then the personality, like, you know, I am a six, like, she doesn't realize that we don't care. I don't care about how many figures you have. I care about your figure. Like, I don't care. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't care about stuff like that. So once again, she's on some feminist stuff. Hold on, where am I at with the likes? All right, perfect. All right.
Nothing but comment. I meant to say I'm anything but comment. No hard feelings and a smiley face. So then I screenshotted our conversation, blocked out his name, and I posted on my story because I was shocked at this point that someone would use their business, their show, to try to get women, and they think that would work. And I was also shocked.
Nothing wrong with using your status of any type to try to get women, except possible legal issues that can arise from it. Outside of that, really nothing wrong with doing that, in my opinion. If I were, say, a professional athlete, and you know, I sleep with a groupie or something, or an extraordinary fan, let's just say I'm a Raiders football player or something, which I, of course, am not, nor will ever be. However, I would definitely use that to my sexual advantage. And I see nothing wrong with those who do. Nothing at all. If you have a position in life that's attractive, or if you that's attractive to women, or you have a position in life that gains you access to sex that you otherwise wouldn't have access to, I see nothing wrong with that. You know, I mean, avoid getting into Me Too situations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're a photographer and you photographize beautiful women all the time, and, you know, of the beautiful women that you work with, some of them say, hey, you're cute, I see nothing wrong with that. Do I agree with the way he did it in this particular situation? Like determining a person's access based on if they would sleep with you? Yes, I do. However, I don't really think. I think that the only victim for that particular aspect of it is a woman who should be on the show and don't want to sleep with them. So, she's not on the show. Like, she would be the victim of it. But, really that's fair exchange. Don't know what the laws is in Florida about that. But that's his battle, not mine. But what's bad about this is that if you're a relationship coach to men who do not have a show with over 400,000 subscribers, if you are that person, oh, by the way, thanks a lot, Real John Doe, appreciate you. If you're that person and you don't have a show with 400,000 subscribers, and the way that you receive sex is by having this show, then you really can't give sound advice to the guy that works at, let's say, Applebee's or something or Burger King. I used to work at Burger King. Like, what advice do you have to like the 18-year-old who works at Burger King who don't really have a job that gives them access or better yet, what advice do you have for me? What advice do you have for me? I work in software. I work from home primarily, unless circumstances, calls for otherwise. But which means I'm not meeting women at the job, and even when I am in office, I'm not meeting women, nor would I mess with the ones that I do. So what advice would you have for me? And I don't think you have a sound answer to that question. There isn't really a sound way I can use my career to get women. So it kind of discredits your ability to talk to the rank and file brother who don't work in the entertainment industry like that. So it's a bad look, but it's not really the bad look for the reason that she's doing it. She feels that it's just immoral and disgusting. No. If you president, ask Bill Clinton, like, you use your position to get her into position. I see nothing wrong with that. All right, let's continue.
That he said that attractive women are common and high value men are not, when it's just like he dismissed me as an attractive woman, but not a high value man, or not a high value woman. And, I don't know anything about this guy. So for him to tell me that he's this high value man when you're having to use your show to get women, high value men don't have to use their show and clout to get women, for the record. Anyway.
I don't know if I agree with that or not. I'll just say that I don't really care. See, I don't really care about illegal means that a man uses to get women. At all. Yeah. A high value man don't have to do that. Well, maybe he just wanted to. Oh, and by the way, wasn't you just using your position to try to aggrandize yourself? Like, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a 6-figure earner, and blah, 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 blah. Like, weren't you trying to use? So yeah, that's just some feminist dribble.
So I posted anonymously and I said, high value men don't talk the way that you did. I have 75 people on my story. I posted a poll and I was like,
who is this chick? Why does she look so different? Why does she look a lot hotter in this? That was just June. And this is why I leave like online chicks alone. Like, how different do you look now? All the makeup and lighting and stuff like that. And then when you take that away and put like a basic wood background, look at you. Look at you. You look like Angel Mima's supervisor. Like, what in the hell Look at this. Look at technology. Look at what people like me have brought into the world. Is this what you want? Is this what you want? I remember thinking in 2015 how much society sucks compared to the movie Back to the Future 2, where you know they had like hoverboards and flying cars, and this is what they pictured 2015 to look like in the 80s. And I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. I can't wait for 2015. You know, it's going to be all kind of cool technology and all kind of stuff, and flying skateboards and flying cars and stuff like that. But nope, this is what we do, people. This is the technology we have, and this is the shit we do with it. This sucks. This, what in the hell is this? Gosh. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, she seems perfectly comfortable defining what high value men are. Like she is just happy doing that. Like no, I define a high. Look at that. Look at that. Why she got her fingers pinched like that? What is she doing? Is she measuring high valueness with that? She sucks. All right.
I tripping, or is this crazy? I forget exactly what I said, but I had so many people voting. Oh my gosh, like this is insane. And so I said, I have 75 people on my story who voted. I can't believe what you said. The comments are insane. Not one person has your side or thinks your approach is appropriate. You're tripping. And I was using emoji faces laughing. I said, maybe you should have me on your podcast so I can teach you how to talk to women. And I sent the screenshots.
So I can teach you how to talk to women. So men don't want to hear that crap. I'll be perfectly honest. Men do not want to hear that crap. I remember that happened to me once. I was maybe like 16. I know I was in high school. And I know the woman that I approached on the bus wasn't in high school. She was in her early 20s, and she was a very shapely woman. And I was like, forget it. I'm going to shoot my shot, right? And she said, look, if you're going to approach, and she called herself a lady. And I'm like, I don't know if she's a lady or not. So I didn't hold that against her. But she was like, if you're going to approach a lady, you do this, this, and this. Now, I didn't really see that she was legitimately trying to help. But even then, I was like, you know, like, who's this bitch gonna tell me how to try to fuck her? How you had the audacity to try to give me the game to fuck? Basically, are you fucking me or not? I was how there's just something about that naturally just rubs men the wrong way.
Then he responded to the screenshots that I sent and said, I'm just being honest and stand by it. I'm not collaborating with you unless we have sex. You have.
Now that is mode 1 AF. Hold on. I need 110 people. That is mode 1 AF. If I ever seen that. That is just, he said, listen, I'm not putting you on this show unless you fuck me. I'm just being honest and stand by it. I'm not collaborating with you unless we fuck. You have fucked a bunch of dudes. What the hell? You have fucked a bunch of dudes, and I know and aren't special. Oh crap. This is that famous dude game. This is that famous Nagaga game. 110 on the likes. This is that famous Nagaga game, right? So I was telling people movie night about this chick I used to see back in high school, and her friend was hotter, and by a large margin. So I tried to hook her up with one of my friends, and she was telling me how how a member, I forget which one of the group 112, wanted to smash, but she was like, she didn't want it. She wasn't interested. I guess they were too old or something like that. But you know, she was like, she just wasn't feeling the situation. And then he said, and this is famous dude game, you let regular niggas smash. I'm getting the story secondhand. I'm getting it from her, but she told me that he said that. And I was like, this is exactly the same type of thinking. This is, you let regular dudes smash. So by that logic, I have access to every woman that a non-semi-famous person has smashed. That is just mind-boggling. Especially since you're selling. See, your approach is an approach that's impossible. It's not available to regular dudes. In fact, by this logic, regular dudes shouldn't even be smashing her. Her vagina should only be reserved for you and your status and above. So how are you going to try to get regular dudes to smash the woman you don't feel that they're qualified to smash? That is, and trust me, this is not this. I'm not trying to take the dude down, but just the relationship. From what I understand about these guys' careers, thanks a lot, Melody. Appreciate you. Hit the like button, please. 5 more likes, please. What I understand from these dudes' career, it can continue without the dating coach aspect of it. I don't know their whole body of work. That's just how I see it. But yeah, this is not good because you're just like, you're really shitting on regular dudes. I mean, it's almost like Dirty Mac and middle income dudes a little bit, just like a little bit. All right. Chow How, Life on a Budget. Thanks a lot, brother. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Great bill yesterday on Sweet Melody Speak show. It says men use their position, their positions or business all the time. What rock and tumbleweed she crawled out from under. Absolutely. I see nothing wrong. And this is speaking from a man who don't got it like that. There's nothing really about my position that I can think of that gains me access to women unless I started. I can't even think of how, like, unless I was hired by women to do stuff like web stuff. I don't know. I can't think of how, really. You know, like, I can't think of what beautiful women, like, why would a large group of beautiful women need a software engineer? Like, but if for whatever reason that was the case, then, you know, I would not, you know, it just is. But then again, I'm not a dating coach. All right, but thanks a lot, Chow How, on a budget, Life on a Budget. All right, so let's see, this sneak. Check out her video, P.S. I'm pregnant. Let's see. She's, what's that? 1 month pregnant. Okay, so that's why she has the sweatshirt on. Let's see. And already says she's going to be a single mom, claims in the comment section. He's abusive and violent, shaking my head. Oh, crap. Yeah, so she's worse than what I suspected. All right. Thanks a lot, to Sneak. Yeah, so. All right, let me continue. Do y'all got the light? Let me get 2 more. Why don't y'all see? I say 110, and it's like people looking at it 108 that haven't hit it yet. It's 2 people looking at it not being 110. Like, oh no, I'm not gonna hit the like button. Why not? Why not? Why don't you like it? Hit the like button. Just press the button. Like, y'all press the button when y'all not supposed to. But y'all don't press it now. Just press it. So like, why do Instagram women have like buttons? Like, what, you see her boobies and you just hit the like button? What, you think she's gonna fuck you after that? Look, but just hit it for me. Hit it for me. Thank you. Jesus.
I've had sex with a bunch of dudes I know and aren't special. You could have just said no and kept it moving, but you're clearly in your feelings going through all that effort with a poll, etc. Go ahead and screenshot the conversation of Clout Chase. I don't care what 75 Simps said in your story.
Okay. So I take back some of what I said because he's doing this. So he wrote this after he's seen that she posted it, which, yeah, and that is some feminist crap. You know, you hit on a chick and she posted on her page, you know, to humiliate the guy. That is ridiculous. You're making it, you know, difficult, damn near impossible for guys to do it. I mean, like for guys to want to hit on women using Instagram. As y'all know, I only have the Game Changer Instagram, and I just started that like a month ago. So, you know, follow if you can. I don't do the online thing anymore. And it's not because of crap like this. It's because of that picture she showed earlier where she was a completely different looking chick. So in addition to that, now she has crap like this where they just take stuff that you say privately, make it public, and humiliate you. No, hit it for me. What are you talking about? No, I'm not going to pause on that. Did I say hit me? When I say it, listen, like I hit it for me all the time. Like, listen, right now, somebody is hitting Rihanna for me. I can't fuck Rihanna, but he can, so he's doing it for me. Shit. Like Laura Harvey or something crap like that. Like Michael B. Jordan is hitting it for me because I want to and I can't. How's that pause? Another man sleeping with another woman that I can't sleep with, hit it for me. Yeah, I'm never pausing again. Y'all tripping.
White knight. The difference is I say what I want and don't care what you think they do. So at this point, this is where Myron lied and told everyone that I started threatening him.
And she blurted out my name. And then she sent me a DM saying, like, you should probably rethink how you talk to women, blah, 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 trying to shame me. And
freaking feminists.
Say, like, I can expose you? She's like, I'll expose you. I was like, do it, bitch. Like, go ahead. Like,
I started threatening his business.
And now she's doing it at the least opportune time. She's doing it. Yeah, it's a series of things that they do. Like they just be like on some, like, you know, come fight me, come to Miami, and then regret that they said that. And now he's like, do it, bitch, out me, bitch. And now he regret that he says that. Like, it's just like, I'm pretty sure like the past week or so, these guys have been like, you know, maybe I shouldn't have said that. A lot. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have posted that. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Like they went like through a whole week of that.
And threatening to expose him.
Yeah. And she made threats like, oh, I'm gonna, like, I'll make you look bad. It'll be bad for your business. I said, do it.
And she's doing it. And she is. This is just like, dang. This is just like, dang.
I'll share. I'll help you. You know what I'm saying?
None of this happened. You can see in the DMs that was just a blatant lie.
I was like, we're gonna smash. She didn't like that. She tried to be like, oh, well, that's your asshole move. Okay, you want me to lie to you and then like try to be on this like bullshit?
Another blatant lie from Myron. I defended myself, told him I haven't slept with a bunch of guys. I said that he is a terrible representation of his podcast and his business, and that I would be happy to put him on blast. I told him he has an opportunity to influence men and make a positive impact, and the example he's setting is trash. I pity any woman who falls for this stupid scheme to fly out to see you and sleep with you for a week promo on your YouTube channel. And then he said, all you'll do is cement my reputation, blah, blah, blah. You don't like it. That's not my problem. Unfortunately, I am who I am. I don't have to worry about an image.
But you are who you are because of your image. And you do have to worry about it. Do I think you are big enough to not reasonably fail? Absolutely. But can things like this stunt your growth? Absolutely. So just not do it. Like, is she really worth it? Like, she's a woman here in California that's not going to fuck you. So, like, don't even press. And feminists are a headache. Like, you know. Hold on. Got to meet somebody for lunch at 1. So, yeah. Anyway.
And that's the end of the conversation. Well, there was like one more response. And I said, unless you were there, you don't know anything about the men that I've been with. Unfortunately for women everywhere, you are who you say you are, and that's pathetic. And then I blocked him. So a couple things. Myron has been lying to everyone, saying, one, I was threatening to expose him, threatening to ruin his business.
How's that a lie? You are exposing him right now. Can't stand feminists. I truly can't.
Obviously, you can see from the proof that's not true. A lot of his following is under the impression that I was trying to get on his show or asking to be on his show again.
But you were. Now, you weren't really. Well, I'll let her say it.
You can see from the screenshots, that's not the truth. I didn't even know anything about his show, which again, that's a lesson I learned. Don't agree to come on a show unless you actually research the show. I was just going off of a mutual friend's recommendation because that's a pretty good friend. But and he felt terrible about it and apologized once he saw. But the reason why I'm speaking about it now, and I wanted to make a video then and explain what was going on, but I decided to just not give any more attention to it. But I'm making a video about it now because I'm getting harassed and bullied daily by his following and by his people. Myron told the guys on the podcast told everyone to put my Instagram handle in their bio or in their little messenger. I don't know how YouTube videos work like that.
There's stuff. And then she blocked me because she was like, oh, okay, this dude, I can't hurt him by trying to embarrass him. Like,
what's her Instagram again? It goes something like
Anna Quinn Fitness.
Oh,
there you go. Anna Quinn Fitness. Y'all want to roast her? I don't care.
Yeah. Dang. This is just like okay. And that's what happens. Like enemies, when they smell blood in the water, so their enemies are going to come out, they're going to come out of the woodwork, and is what it is. But yeah, and then like all the things, all the little mistakes that you did before, they're going to get exposed to, and that's just the nature of what's happening. I appreciate you, Alfonso. Thanks for the super sticker, bro.
She wanted to smoke. Okay. Now you got to deal with that. Now you got to get embarrassed and look stupid and all this other shit.
Someone put her Instagram in the chat.
Can we do that Instagram real quick?
It might have been me.
Oh, damn. Oh, you want to put it up? I'm going to have to say Instagram. I don't even want to give her that. I thought it was FreshandFit. You know what?
They put my Instagram on their show so that people could go mess with me. And they told the lies about what they're claiming happened, and that is not the truth. So not only is this guy lying to everyone, but he's claiming to be a male self-improvement expert and the leading show for male self-improvement, but the culture that he is raising is gross and disgusting. These are bullies. I get at least 5 messages a day of people telling me I'm a whore, telling me to go kill myself, people commenting on my pregnancy announcement video, telling me I've been sleeping around, just awful comments. And here's the thing.
Okay, so I don't know. Maybe I'll take a time out to look at the pregnancy video, but I don't know if I hate this chick enough to really do that. All right, hold on. All right, somebody coming through. So when y'all hear my doorbell ring, that'll let you know it's time for the stream to shut down because I am hungry. All right, hold on. Sending my address. All right, there we go. All right, so what was I saying? Oh, I don't know if I like this chick enough to or hate this chick enough to like look up her pregnancy video and do a follow-up on this. I kind of want to close this. I kind of want to just close this whole topic out. It's not really something I like doing because it requires some critical talk about red pill dudes, and I don't like doing that. But it's also I want to try to block as much as I can the opportunity that she's taking advantage of to spread her feminist narrative, because what she's doing is for the protection of women.
Nobody knows not a lot of people, only the people close to me know the real situation of what's going on with me and the father of this child. But the truth is, I can't talk about it because I've been threatened. My safety has been threatened. I was threatened, and I've been talking to a lawyer, and I'm not able to discuss the details of that. So right now, I just have to leave it kind of plain and generic. And
I'm be honest, I don't care. I don't care too much about the circumstances under which you've chosen to bring a child into this world. I will say, just from the outside, just from what I know, and this isn't what the brother was kind enough to super chat earlier. From what I know, like the Fresh and Fit situation happened in June, and you were single, and it's August, and you're pregnant. So from what I gather, either you went with, a recent breakup, you were like in an on again, off again relationship, or somewhere between June and August of this year, you took in some sperm. Just saying, like that's what it appears to have happened.
I'm fine with that. But me receiving all of this harassment and bullying and all of these comments, it's heavy, and I'm tired of it, and I'm not going to keep receiving it without taking a stand for myself. So that's why I'm making this video, because
that is not why you're making this video. Because like you say, you've been receiving these messages, these 5 messages a day for quite some time. You're making this video because this is when it can hurt them the most. In June, you came to the conclusion that there's really not much I can do to affect these guys. I did a poll and 75 people responded. And they have a membership base of 400,000, over 400,000, or I had a membership base of over 400,000. So you realize then that, as much as you wanted to take them down because you're feminist and you like taking men down, particularly red pill men, as much as you wanted to then, you couldn't. But now there's blood in the water and you see an opportunity to eat some chump.
Anyone who's following him needs to know the truth. You need to unsubscribe from his channels, because this is not someone who will help a man improve himself. This is someone who will help a man dig himself into a hole, and his culture speaks for him.
Okay. I may half agree with that. I don't really think he can give advice. First of all, this is not the advice that he's given. His approach here is not necessarily the advice that he is giving to his people, because we don't have 400,000+ subscribers. So there's that, I mean, and personally, I don't work in an industry that gains me access to women. So he really can't give that particular advice to me. But in addition to that, it doesn't seem like he does that. I think that his dating coach aspect is more of a man should take this approach type deal. And that approach really only works if you're wealthy and if you are already a high value man. But anyway, yeah, I don't see it harming. I don't see like another man falling into this exact same scenario, because it requires that they be in this position to begin with.
Itself. Look at the comments I've been receiving. This is what he has bred. This is the tribe that he has created and raised up. And it's disgusting. It's shameful. He should be embarrassed. He should be apologizing that his following and that he has impressed upon these people that this type of behavior is okay. But he's not going to, because he's not man.
Now, that type of behavior is okay. It is. Once again, outside of, I don't know what the laws were. JB, he kind of broke it down. So maybe this is it. I don't know if this is considered a job or anything like that. So there is that aspect of it. Don't really know the legal aspect of it. Outside of that, I don't think he did anything morally wrong.
And enough. So we have a liar, we have a bully, And that's what he's creating. He's creating ignorant bullies who are coming after someone they don't know without knowing all of the facts and the information. And that's why I'm speaking up and speaking out against it. So hopefully this wasn't too long or too boring. I just had to get all the information out. So hopefully y'all will stop watching their dang show and unsubscribe and share this video, because so people need to know. And also women who agree to be on this show need to know the truth behind what's going on. And
well, I think that they know the truth behind what's going on. Like, if he's that forward, I'm pretty sure that he knows the truth. Do I think that he does it all the time? No. I think that he does it often with women who hit him up. What do I mean by that? Like I think he primarily deals with local women, like as far as his show goes. However, with the reach that large of hundreds of thousands of women, he's probably getting his inbox full of women from all over the country who wants to get flown in to be on the Fresh and Fit show. At which point, you know, that's the interaction. But I don't think that he's, okay, put it like this. I think that there are a group of women that he asked to be on the show, especially when he first started. And then there is a much larger group of women who ask him to be on the show. And from that larger group of women, one of the things, you know, one of the ways that he culls the herd is to say that. Of course, he looks at their pictures and stuff, but, you know, additionally, it's like, you know, listen, I'm not going to have 100 women panel. So, you know, which one of you chicks, you know, is down for the get down?
also, Myron said that people can't come on the show unless they sleep with him. I can't come on the show unless I sleep with him. He said, I only collaborate with women I'm dating. So is he saying he slept with every woman that's been...
Hold on, let me see that post again. All right, I collab with girls I date. No pressure though. Yeah, I guess that's an elegant way to put it.
Is he saying he slept with every woman that's been on the show? Because I'm guessing that's probably not the truth. Because I kind of doubt that he would actually be able to get all those women. But
I mean, what's it to you if he could or couldn't? Like, that's weird. Like, what's it to you if he could or couldn't? And what is your doubt based on?
not gonna, that's just my speculation. So, okay, that's all. Like this video, share it, subscribe. Peace out.
All right, so that's that. All right, let me just end that. Somebody say check her Instagram. I don't know. I don't really think anything of substance will come up from her Instagram. But let's see. Oh,
Greetings.
I accidentally hit the who's that?
What's
Black
up, y'all? My
Authority
name's
thing.
Anna Quinn.
All right, let me see. Show more. No, she don't even have her Instagram on the thing. And besides, I don't feel like looking up this ditzy chick. Oh crap. So, but I will check this out because Abba and Preach actually sent the response. Oh crap. Oh crap. Okay, so now we got to cover this, and I'll cover this until y'all hear that doorbell ring. So, all right, here we go. All right, actually, let me do the larger portion. Take that down. All right, so let's see. Eliel, is that her name? They doxed you? Absolute nonsense. This was 13 hours ago. And then she replied, they didn't even offer to box me, though. They just sent their followers. Too bad. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. This is... All right. Brothers. Do not side with feminists against other brothers. Do not side with feminists against other brothers. Don't do that. Just don't. That's a bad look, because now she's instigating, you know, the Abba and Preach situation. That's just, yeah. And notice how on here she was pretending like, oh, you know, I'm just doing this because of the harassment that people have been giving me. No, you're doing this because you understand the Abba and Preach situation has created a certain level of vulnerability, and you want to jump in on the bandwagon. So you are aware of the situation. And here you are with emojis and crap like that. She's garbage woman, freaking feminist with filters. All right. What's NFT of these crazy messages and sell it to them? What's an NFT? That would be hilarious. I don't know what that is. I wonder Myron gets touched when he asks him who hurt you. Feminist. That is the most that's the most ridiculous thing. Who hurt you? Like, does it really matter? Like, why do they think others hurting you is a weakness on you? Like, it's weird. Like you're shaming, you're trying to shame something. Like, what if somebody had like a dirty uncle and you're like, who hurt you? Well, my dirty uncle. Oh, well, then everything you say is invalid because you were hurt by a dirty uncle, which means that the reviled person has discredited everything you will ever say in the future because he hurt you as a child. You're stupid. You're stupid. Who's that? Can't pronounce the name because your name is stupid. All right. Y'all, please make a follow-up video exposing these monsters, instigators. That'll just be the cherry on top of the shit cake. Why do you want a cherry on top of a shit cake? Idiots. I'm not going to read something written by somebody named Slave of God. All right. It just keeps getting better. Yeah, this might continue for a while. Who knows? I hope people don't just like continue to come out the woodwork just because. All right, let's see. Yo, make a full video about this, please. Instigators. All right, let me see. React to this, Abba and Preach. Well, I did, so they don't have to, but yeah, just let it die. Like, you know, like the L train needs to end. L train. Shout out to the brothers in Chicago. Shout out to Ramil Amir. All right. So, yeah, it's loading, but it seems like it's just going to be more instigating. Oh, wait. They're kids on an adult body and too dumb to even talk. Well, you're too dumb to even write. I think you mean in an adult body. All right. Love that you comment on all these smaller creators. More reasons. Yeah, okay. Oh wait, somebody says, huh? So somebody's saying to her, how many times are you going to continuously lie about this? You even put the video on here, and it clearly shows that they never told you of any. They never told any of their followers to harass you. Okay. They simply showed a link so people could see who Myron was talking about. Let's see. No, that's actually indirectly. I mean, his intentions were good, but yeah, it was wrong. Okay, let's see what she has to say. All right. You clearly don't know how to read. The proof is in the video. I never said I would expose him. He told me to expose him, and then I said I would be happy to. Okay, yeah, she has a point there, but that was a noble attempt. All right, let me see if she writes anything else. Hold on, where am I at on the likes? All right, that's good. That's good. Appreciate it. I mean, keep them coming. You know, it's never going to be good enough, but, you know, I greatly appreciate that I'm in a good range. All right, so let's see. All right, just a back and forth with that guy. All right. So yeah, he seems to be in the lion's den. I'm just gonna move past that. All right. Yeah, so now it just seems like it's a back and forth on all that. All right, so yeah, let's see what the I guess I'll put the link out there if anybody want to come up. All right. All right, number 16. What's on your mind, brother?
Nothing much. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and say that he opened this can of worms all on his own. Is that as soon as she had the first time she had she did not respond to him, he should have just left it at that. But even after he persisted, it's like, again, you don't mix business with pleasure, because things like this happen. It's like, again, you may say that she had done like she went a little overboard or what have you with exposing the text, but when you put stuff like that out like that, all you're doing is giving people ammo to throw back at you for whatever for every issue. So it's like this. If he was out and about in the city club and it's like, oh, I'm fit from Fresh and Fit podcast, and he gets some play off of that, that's perfect. But then you propositioning people that you're trying to quote unquote collab with, like, you are really putting not only yourself but your business at risk with stuff like this. We've seen how negative publicity is hurting that channel now.
Yeah, it's terrible. Now, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit on the mixing business with pleasure. I do feel you should put business before pleasure. However, I wouldn't say you should entirely deny yourself pleasure simply because you're in business with someone.
I mean, that's
So
I'm sorry.
no, like this situation, he was putting pleasure before business because he was saying in order to do this business, you're going to have to pleasure me. So he was putting pleasure in front of business, which hey, I'm 100% with you on that. Like,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
However, okay, so you work in tech like me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not much pleasure to be exchanged there. We generally work with other men, and if there is
Not in my
woman,
department.
huh?
Not in my department, no.
Okay. Well, fortunate for you. I know the sales team always, work in the vicinity of attractive women. But nevertheless, if you found yourself in an industry that attracted women, say you're a photographer, music producer, something in the visual entertainment industry, or you and a woman says, hey, hey, number 16, you've been taking my pictures for a while. I think you're kind of cute. Let's get down,
That I would have to think about. I mean, it's, again, that's something that, let's say you guys do let's say I have like a mutual attraction. You guys or you or in this case me, like, we go out, we do our thing, and then, hey, let's say things go south, like we have an argument or just people break up, and then that may now end up costing you business if now she wants to talk about it, like oh, he's just like a bad guy with just whatever, like nothing like too flagrant, but now it's like it's just something where there's more bad that can happen than good when you start mixing these relationships together.
This is why the modern world is shit, because of this. Now, I want you, because you're my age, and I want you to rewind your brain to the movie Boomerang. Was there anything wrong with the way he got down and the way he got around? He works in marketing. He deals with models. He just did what he did to two women he worked with. Wasn't a major issue. Well, it was, but it wasn't a major job impacting issue in the sense that they just need to like that was things was better for everybody. More penis and vagina for all. But the modern day, we're thinking about Look at how we're thinking about this. We shouldn't even be thinking about stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's something where I said like if two people are like mutually like attracted to each other and they're like, hey, let's do this. I'm fine with that. It's like,
but that was the situation I proposed to you. I said you're a photographer, and she says you're cute, but you still have to say but. A man shouldn't have to say that, but we do because of modern times. That's why I say modern times is crap. Like, and people are less mature. Did Marcus Graham, did he go to human resources for that crap that that lady Eloise pulled?
I'm not sure. I have not seen the movie.
Why in the hell haven't you seen Boomerang? All right, everybody else.
I was like 5, man. But I was like 5 or 6.
Oh, I thought you was my age. Oh, you're young. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
oh.
Yeah.
No.
But I was in junior high. But
Yeah. I'll make a real quick point, then I'll let somebody else talk into it. It's
Okay.
like again, hey, if you want to do that, like you said, if two people are mutually consenting and they want to do that stuff, fine. Whatever happens is between you two. Like, I'm not gonna do it. But the thing is, with him, is that, or just with anything, like, you will end up possibly, or you have more of a chance to end up with a bad situation if your response to a woman or a guy, whatever, is, hey, you want this to happen, you need to do this for me. Like, sexually, it's something that it's not going to play too well in this day and age, and that's all. And that's all I'm going to say is, like,
I agree
keep
with
that
that.
shit separate.
That is bad for business. Like I say, business before pleasure, but not business in lieu of pleasure. If it's pleasurable, that's my stance on it. Yeah, but thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, number 16.
Not going to be real quick because I got to run in back in my office.
Yeah. I hope you don't mind, Mel, but if you got to run,
No problem. You can go.
Okay,
So
go for it, Pablo.
So my my issue with both Fresh and Fit is they don't have very much social awareness.
This is very true. This is very true. I think it was Abba that brought that up too. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can tell in this situation, the timing of when to go mode 1 is very off. What should have transpired is he should have said, after he handled the details of her coming to Miami and her being on the show and where she's gonna stay and who's gonna pay for what and all that kind of stuff. After he ironed out all of those details, then he could say, hey, to be honest, I'm very interested in you, in a little bit more than business and professional sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to, take you out or whatever after you're here. Then after the show, then you go mode 1.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because it would be mode 1 because you do legitimately have 2 desires from her. However, you put the business desire first. Once the business is taken care of, once the business is taken care of, she's on the show, she's on her way back to California. It's like, hey, before you head out, I felt a little chemistry between the two of us, or what have you, like what have you. Once the business is done, because somebody says he disagree with me, but let me explain. This is what I mean when I say put the business before the pleasure. Once the business is done, do not let the pleasure interfere with the business. Once the business is done, then
it's your money first.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's like a yes or no. Either way, you got a good show, provided that she doesn't mess it up being a feminist and all. So,
and my other issue, real quick, is I went to her IG. She's a fit girl. She's got a nice body, but I don't think I would go that far all in on a chick like her. If it was like Angelina Jolie and 15 years ago, or Pam Anderson in the 90s, throw the kitchen sink at her until you get something. But for her, I don't think I would risk it all.
Yeah. I don't think he did the research. I think she did. She just sent like one of those Photoshop pictures. I think he thought it was just going to be easy and didn't really expect this much pushback. But like at the sign of initial pushback, I would have pulled back. Like, okay, this is fine. I don't really. I don't know what the excessive push was for, because he does his position in life does seem to have given him access to a lot of beautiful women, local and otherwise. So I didn't get that aspect of it either. And primarily speaking, and this is a very good point, and this isn't something that, you know, she would admit, because it looks bad on her to say this. And it also looks bad on them to say it, but so she would admit it to hurt them, but she didn't because it hurts her more. And that is, she's not that hot.
No,
She's not that hot at all.
and this is where
and that's a real bad look on him, because the level of effort, you know, for somebody who's not that hot wasn't really, like, the reward doesn't really look that good.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But like I say, Photoshop be doing stuff. Like, who knows what picture she sent to him. Oh, Pablo had to go. But yeah, that's just my, yeah. The risk isn't worth the reward. See, it depends on the type of business. Am I saying something like, you know, your secretary at work? No. I'm saying like this type of business, like where it's temporary clientele. But anyway, I don't want to have that conversation now because I got to prepare. Mel, what's on your mind?
What's good? What's good? Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Two things. It's like they always saying, Peter Parker's type saying, with great power comes great responsibility. Fresh and Fit had a certain amount of power that they gained behind their fame, but they have to be taught some responsibility of how to use it. As we see right now, it's sort of backfiring now, and it's hard. So, you know, they feel the repercussions of it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that being said, with this chick, even Alonzo Curry said himself when he was on the Lead Attorney show, I commend him for being straight direct with the attention, but I wouldn't do it this way. It's like you said, you know, business before pleasure.
Yeah, I agree with that. And
this is not looking good. Like, you know, on this part, even though I'm taking her advice with a very small grain of salt, like crazy. But like it's like, yeah, like it's just like, you know, like you did example with the boomerang situation with the Marcus Grant and stuff. But see, the difference is Marcus can't go to human resource because he still chose to sleep with the old lady.
That doesn't matter nowadays. Just the fact that she propositioned him. Don't get me wrong. In the 90s, people were more sensible, but that's just the fact that she implied, you know, career growth in exchange for sex, and he offered and she didn't partake is, yeah, you know, yeah, that's the way the world is now. And it's unfortunate but true. So he could go to human resources and, you know, it'd be this whole big scandal, and but people were more mature back then.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't. Yeah. I like you said, I would have handled the business first, 100%. She got what she wanted, the business aspect. Then if I want to make my move, try to be cautious of that also too.
Now I will say this. I will say this, and you know, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but she's not the hottest, and I think that I think that that's key in this scenario. She's not the hottest, which means that even in what you described, Mel, I wouldn't have done that with her. Like, that is something that you do if you get the choosing signals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, that's something you do in the most ideal circumstances. And she is hotter than her, you know. And what I mean by she's not hot, I mean she's not hot relative to the women that he has on the show. You know, she would be considered so which means that, which kind of leaves me with the impression that he's doing this to every woman who is at least her level or hotter, which is a lot, and it does leave you vulnerable to a lot of scandal, even if you do it after business is taken care of. But like I say, in this particular situation, because he is dependent on having you know, a group of fresh women for point of view reasons, I probably just would you know, stay out of it unless the choosing signals are strong. Period.
Yeah, you guys should have did it that way. Let her do all the moves. And that would make it easy on him and stuff. But you know, when it comes to doing business with people and stuff like that, like even the situation with Nina unrated and stuff, Like if she came at you and stuff like that, 100% like that, that'd be more easy on your part because she wanted you, despite you might want her, but you know what? I'm gonna let her do most of the work, so I won't have to be put as the bad guy 100%. She made the first move and made most of the strong moves. Even though I still wanted it, but now you know what? I'm making her do more of the work than I am.
And in proximity and in quantity, somebody should be choosing. So that shouldn't really, that really shouldn't be a problem. But who knows? Who knows? I'll just say that he thinks differently than I do. Chowhan, what's on your mind?
Hey, this is from an aspect of running a business and being in a position.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to start with this. First of all, they got too cocky, which they shouldn't have gotten. They got very arrogant and very cocky, felt they above everything. So that's why they end up stepping on Abba and Preach. So then the situation ensued. The thing is, in business, you have to watch what you're doing, because I've been in a couple of situations myself and I got out of them. And the thing about it was I learned my lessons. Maybe this is something they needed to learn themselves. What I don't like about this whole thing is you have a lot of other persuasions getting into the black manosphere, and they can't do it in their own manosphere, so they come over to our manosphere. So whatever way they can jump in, she's jumping in between this situation so she can get that recognition, because she's not getting it anywhere else. You could look at her following, most likely she's not getting it like that. So coming over here and sort of like throwing a gas on the fire between Abba, Preach, and Fresh and Fit is a thing where she's going to get her little numbers up that she feels and her recognition. And this is something that's something particularly I don't care for. Within ourselves, we should take care of our own business. If we got issues with each other, we should go to each other and deal with that instead of blasting it out on the media like this. That's not a good look, because that's where division comes in at. And that's the biggest problem we got as our people now. We have division. That's something we need to take care of and straighten out. So basically, this is how I feel about the situation.
So, yeah, I agree that there should be a lot more behind the scenes conversations. But what Pablo said about social awareness, there is a there. They should not have responded the way that they did to Abba and Preach. In fact, they probably shouldn't have responded at all, But I do, dating coaches, they have like a completely different hill to climb. So it's going to be a lot of stuff. Like they're bringing in problems as dating coaches that they wouldn't have otherwise. They would just be two guys with a good show that Redpill women. So, but yeah. And as far as the other tribes portion, the only way around that is to not invite other tribes on the show. And they're not going to do that because, from what I've seen, it does seem like other tribes represent about 80% of their female guests. I don't know what their audience is, but I do know that they represent 80% of their female guests. And the remaining 20 are probably there because the existing 80 is there. So doesn't even, they invited them on the show. So they invited them into tribal business as a result of that. And they wouldn't be successful otherwise. So I think that's just like an unavoidable thing.
Game changer. I'd like to add, if you notice, like the last 2 days, especially the day when he made the apology to Abba and Preach on the late night show. I don't know if you watch it, but even people in the chat, everything, did you pay attention to the girls that he recently had since that day, 2 days ago, up until last night and stuff? They're not as highly attractive at all. And the ones that was repeated guests. He had a show with these 3 other girls who was doing there like 6 times. Like they repeated guests, like a special show. But
they repeat guests.
Yeah, but the new girls.
He should just find love elsewhere. I didn't know they repeat guests.
Yeah, he did. A couple of girls like that Nina Pineapple and this chick with this red hair that's a rapper. Yeah, they've been there like a couple of times. He had like a special show pertaining to them. They're talking about the OnlyFans thing. But the new girls that he has on it now look straight very average. Very
Okay.
avid. And his whole mood was like kind of a little bit calmed down a little bit. It was like, yeah, he's feeling the repercussions of this, both of them.
Yeah, so far it's about a 10% loss. I don't really recommend anybody unsubscribe to them. That, to me, that's childish. But
Yeah, I mean,
unsubscribe from them. But yeah, so far it's been about a 10% loss from what people are telling me in the chat room. And
yeah, I mean, I do hope those. I mean, I'm glad these brothers learning their lesson and everything, and they're gonna feel it for
what's
a
their
while
lesson?
and stuff.
What's their
Overly-
lesson? And then we'll go to King Sigma.
Being overly arrogant, learn that, you know what? Even though I feel like Abba&preach should have not made that video from when they was on the show the first time, because I thought that beef was squashed, but they took it another level, too far, and they over arrogance, especially Myron and his over emotionalness, the way he was, he should have never went there. And Walter, like, he was the one initiated the debauchery match, despite he's not even, he just started working out, and he's not even up to Preach's level. So it's like, you let this over arrogant the way they are is too much. I mean, put it this way,
They don't know the rules. I didn't know the rules when I first started YouTube either. So and that's perfectly fine. Tim said it best, you know, they're very young and new to this. So I don't really hold it against them. Like, you know, there are people that's waiting for you to fail. And I don't think that they understood the reach of that as I did when I first began. And it's generally for no reason. So I don't really fault them too much, and I just kind of want the L train to end so they can continue to rebuild, you know, from this.
It will. I think
now they know what not to do. They learn a lot of not to do's.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say not be arrogant, you know, because I feel that brothers should be confident given, you know, all things given, but yeah.
But it's way too much of it. Yeah, they could be arrogant to a certain percent.
Well,
too much of it.
Okay, well, put it like this: understand that if you're arrogant, there are going to be a group of people that's going to be around to try to humble you, just because. And that's what they're experiencing now. So,
exactly.
But yeah, thanks a lot, Mel. All right, King Sigma, what's on your mind, brother? First of all, thanks to Will Brown, appreciate you.
Hey, you know, good Friday, gentlemen, and to the panelists in the chat. Glad to join in this discussion.
What's good, brother? What's good, man?
Oh, I'm excellent, man. I'm loving this summer, but this is interesting. This is good because this is definitely a story that relates so much to what Black men have been talking about in terms of the Me Too era. Because I came into the space, you know, in 2018, and that was like right when that whole Me Too Times Up thing was happening with Weinstein and Bill Cosby and R. Kelly and those guys. And I have to disagree with you, Game Changer, when you said the whole thing about, you know, get the business off the table and then try to have sex. 100% disagree. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
We have the Harvey Weinstein case going on right now in New York. And I think that at this point, there's about 35 women that have come forward in Hollywood against him. And if you look at each story, it's different how the interactions were. There were situations that met the example that you gave about, okay, do the business, then do the seduction later. There's a lot of women on that list, like Gwyneth Paltrow, who are in that exact situation that you described, and they joined in the Me Too pile-on once it became known that he had this alleged history, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like that model that you're presenting. I think that if a man is going to do business, especially here on social media, which is way worse than in the brick and mortar world, do business and get your pleasure elsewhere. In fact, if you're going to
there is no elsewhere.
There is an elsewhere. There's
women
no
elsewhere.
There's women.
Here's the thing. I'm not really talking about right quick, Kingston. Let me interrupt. You know, I'm not talking about Fresh and Fit. There is an elsewhere for Fresh and Fit. There is no elsewhere for Harvey Weinstein. You know, like Hollywood, mainstream. You know, who hasn't heard of Harvey Weinstein? Like, there is no elsewhere.
There is
no matter
elsewhere,
what. Okay.
There is an elsewhere, Game Changer.
Who's
not
his
doing
elsewhere?
Easy. You don't have to have sex with your employees.
No, I'm not talking about employees. Listen, because of the nature of what he does, because he can make any woman a celebrity overnight, because he has that ability, there is no elsewhere.
Yes,
you know, right?
There is.
Listen. If a woman who's milking a cow in Milwaukee, you know, thinks that Harvey Weinstein is cute for whatever reason and decides to get down with him, you know, chances are because of his celebrity, there is some implied he used his celebrity to get that, you know.
Okay, I won't argue about there's some implication that comes with status, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about relationship.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but I'm just going by the model that you use though. When you said you're talking about a business relationship versus if Harvey Weinstein is just walking down the street of downtown Milwaukee and he sees a hot chick and says, "Oh, that's high status man Harvey Weinstein." That's a different dynamic than you're a movie producer. Harvey Weinstein was a producer of one of the biggest studios. These women are his employees, and there's a power dynamic there based on employment. Now, how does
if the employee dynamic ends, if the employee-employer dynamic ends, then he shouldn't then embrace it?
My recommendation in this climate that we're in is no. In the world that you're from, yes. But in this climate since 2017, hell no. Now let's connect this with the Fresh and Fit guys.
Go for it.
Do you get Google AdSense or have you never accepted that contract?
No, I got Google AdSense, not much, but
okay. So here's the thing. Anyone that accepts a Google AdSense contract, you become a 1099 employee of YouTube, Google, Alphabet, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's liability at risk there. See, that's the part that no one's talking about in this situation with that female's allegations. Because what he should be worried about is, are there going to be more women that pile on? Because again, this is why I'm not for the leading with your wallet, and I'm on the team that says genuine lust and desire is much better than leading with your wallet, because again, you just open yourself to this target. Now, there's going to be some women out there that are broke. I know that the brother Mr. Fantastic did a stream earlier on the OnlyFans apocalypse, right? These are the type of women that you were just presenting in your that are going to be looking for money. Now, this could be a quick come up because they're going to be like, okay, we're going to go to YouTube with 5 or 10 girls that have been on that show and say, your 1099 employee was using Harvey Weinstein-like tactics. And remember, the person that runs YouTube, she's a feminist. She's pro-woman all the way. And you get 5 or 10 people and you get one of these broke lawyers out here that doesn't like this space anyway. And they get together and say, this guy is on record with over 500,000 subscribers doing Weinstein-like tactics against vulnerable women. And so that's what I'm saying, is that you put Google at risk, you put your employer Alphabet at risk, because anything related to that sexual harassment, sexual assault stuff, these corporations ain't touching you, bro. So that's what I would be more worried about, and why I would reject your model that you were presenting.
Okay. We can agree to disagree on that one. And, I definitely see your point. I'm not really entirely against the whole lead with your wallet thing. I say you lead with whatever works. But that's just
well, my thought on that game changer is that here's why I say that, because I get what you're saying, because you mentioned earlier that you come from the boomerang generation. You've mentioned it many times. See, and it does suck that we live in this climate that we're in, bro. But environments change, right? So what I'm saying to you is that think about this term that they got now that's coming around academia and corporate America. Have you heard the new term that they're using for consent called enthusiastic consent now?
It's not new. I heard that a couple years ago.
But now it's becoming
enthusiastic affirmative consent is something I heard a couple years ago, and I flipped on the nigga that told me that.
Yeah, and I think that's insane that we've gotten to the point. We've gotten to the point where they're trying to say that even if she says yes, if you seduced her into saying yes, that can be considered sexual assault. This is insanity. But again, that's why we have these conversations.
Well, enthusiasm is something that's so objective.
It is.
That's subjective, excuse me. That I don't even want to touch that.
It's very scary stuff that we're in. So what I'm saying is that in the climate that's being created right now in the United States, it's no way I'm mixing business with pleasure, bro. I don't care if we're gonna do business, we're gonna do business. I would rather take my pleasure elsewhere with the gains. So, example, in a situation where you got a hot chick and you got a chance to make $10,000 by having her on your show, I'm taking that $10,000, and if I want to use what you're talking about with the leading wallet, I'm going elsewhere to get it. I don't need her. There's other women that with that $10,000, I can go visit somewhere else on the planet. But in this environment, you're just setting because again, remember.
Nah. Okay, so I'm gonna propose some impossible scenarios to you, and you just tell me because I don't like to go with the push in this direction. Okay, so one of my television crushes is Chloe Bailey.
Yeah.
And let's just say I change careers and I decide to be a cameraman on a show that she's working on. And then she says, hey there, cameraman, the season is over. The show has ended. You're going to be a cameraman on a different show. Would you mind if I suck your penis? And I say, no, I wouldn't mind. I told you, impossible scenarios. And I say, no, No, I wouldn't mind at all if you suck my penis.
Yeah.
I see nothing wrong with that.
I don't see anything wrong with that. That's a different scenario, though. That's a different scenario from if you did it.
No,
versus
your business relationship has ended. Your business relationship with this person has ended, and she makes it clear that she has a taste.
Okay.
She has a taste for your penis.
And that's different. I agree with you. Now that's different. I'm with that. Now, if the woman is the one that's engaging you and seducing you, that's 100%.
No, that's why I say. That's why I say because women aren't that direct generally, especially those who look like Chloe Bailey. But
now you gave a scenario,
and that's why I say choosing signals. That's why I say if you receive strong choosing signals from the person, then I see nothing wrong with exploring it and say, hey, is it just me or?
Okay, so here's the question though. But here's the question.
Well, right quick. So same scenario, right? So and I just walk up to her and say, listen, I know I'm a cameraman and I don't really, I can't really tell if you were seducing me or seducing the camera. Is it wrong for me to ask that?
I don't think it's wrong, but here's what I would ask you a question in, because that's a good scenario you present. But here's what I would ask you. Does it matter what you and I think and what our penis thinks, or does it matter what the employer that's writing your check thinks and what the law thinks? I don't think those are the same thing. The law's interpretation, your corporate employer's interpretation, and my sex drive interpretation, that ain't necessarily going to come to the same conclusion, because ultimately these women are used, like you were mentioning earlier, these women are using this as leverage, bro. They don't give a shit about those dudes on that podcast, man. These chicks are broke out here. They're going to use anything they can to take. They don't care about taking down a dude like him, because there'll be another one to fill that vacuum tomorrow. They're like, hey, take him down, get the bag. It'll be another one that'll be inviting us on the show. Even there'll be a man lined up to get with a chick, even though they saw her before the world take down a man, even if it was false charges, and they will still sign up for that deal. So I'm just saying that what you want and I want sexually may not be the same interpretation coming from the courts or coming from your employer, because you mentioned that the cameraman. That cameraman is still employed at Warner Brothers. So do the Warner Brothers board of directors and the human resources, are they going to agree with your penis? That's the question.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that they will. I think that they say they agree with my penis, that they want to be inside Chloe Bailey as well. I do think that they agree in that particular regard. Now, as far as the situation that I've given, you do realize that it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. She could just not and say you did. She could pretty much say anything. That is so you talk about leverage. We're already under that leverage. The only difference is I would put my penis in Chloe Bailey's mouth. Like that's no, honestly.
I don't disagree with you, bro. But I'm just saying that there's different levels.
Well, take that dude from The Shy, right? He played Eazy-E on Straight Outta Compton. And his girlfriend on the set, one who is paid to be in sexual situations with him, she did the whole Me Too stuff, and he got kicked off the show, and so did she. So it was just this whole, it was just this whole thing that may or may not have needed to happen, right? And but see, here's the thing: they didn't even take the time out to determine if it happened or not. He was just kicked off. What if she did it just because it's Tuesday, or just because hormones? Or who knows why women do stuff, but she did it for that reason, and he's kicked off. See, there's going to come a point where it doesn't even matter if it's true, and we're already at that point.
I think we're already at that point, but what I'm saying is, okay,
at that point, so why not make it true?
So why make it worse for yourself if you know?
No, I get it. What I'm saying is, I get it if you invite somebody who wasn't otherwise interested. The way Fit handled this situation, she obviously wasn't interested. Yeah. And he just pushed and started saying some stuff that, like I said, I wouldn't have said. I'm not defending this situation. I'm talking about in general. If you are in a industry that gives you proximity to beautiful women and the signals are there, I see no reason that you should not shoot your shot.
Okay. I guess we're gonna have to disagree, because for me, I think that men read signals differently. Some men are not as experienced.
True.
In reading green lights.
And people are saying, apologies for the interruption. People are saying that Fit, well, both of them aren't the most socially aware guys. I I'll keep my opinion on that to myself. But if that's the case, then you can misread signal. But the scenario
that's all I'm saying.
The scenario I gave was a simple ask. It's a simple ask. I say to Chloe Bailey, "Hey, were you flirting with me or flirting with the camera?"
Now hold on though. But hold on.
And she said, and if she says, you know, "Oh, I'm flirting with the camera," I was like, "Okay, you're a great
But
actress."
who's in the power? But again, when we're talking about sexual harassment in the workplace and potential rape charge, they always use the criteria power dynamic. In that dynamic, they would say that the actress is in a more powerful position than the cameraman is. So that would be included. And also on the Hansel and Gretel tip, you pointed out some of those screenshots of like their exchange, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that a smart man, again, a man that really understands women and women's lust, especially in that dynamic where he's the inferior employee and she's a superior, that if it's like Jennifer Lopez and her backup dancer kind of situation. She's the more powerful one, which is why he ended up getting a check in like spousal support. So there's a different power dynamic when you're talking about a cameraman and an actress. But you're not talking about that when you're talking about the Fresh and Fit situation. He's in the more powerful position, and he's also a 1099 employee of Google Alphabet. And again, they have a policy that if you go to Google AdSense, they can become liable. When you bring those women on your show, they can become liable in a lawsuit. And so that's where the big mistake by him was made. That's all I'm saying.
I made the disclaimer within the confines of the law. I made that clear. Within the confines of the law, you know, then this type of behavior is okay. Hold on, let me read the super chat. Thanks a lot, VRX. It says, men need to stop letting their egos get to their head. I agree. He should not have responded because a woman did a post with 75 viewers when you have hundreds of thousands. I agree. This culture of talking disrespectfully to others over the internet has gone way too far, and may possibly cost someone their life one day. I think he's talking about the preach. Yeah, it has, and yeah, I do think that they handled it wrong, and they admit that they handled it wrong. So yeah. You know that they learned a lesson that you're now telling them. I agree. All right. So Jersey Hammer says the issue is who has the power. If the male is seen to have the power, they will call it coercion. Agreed.
Facts.
Agreed. The scenarios, once again, the scenarios that I give, the men do not have power. I say you're a photographer, she's a model. I'm talking about mutual client-based interactions. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, game changer. Again, I just think that your prism that you're looking at this through is outdated in 2021. I wouldn't risk it at all.
I did say the modern world. I did say the modern world is shitty, but guess what? Not fucking them is going to make it shittier. You know,
hey, it's 4 billion women on the planet.
And I made a point to say that, you know, don't go around, you know, hitting on your secretary and stuff like that. However, you know, if you have like mutually beneficial relationships with someone where there isn't a clear-cut power dynamic, you know, so I gave the photographer model situation, or you know, the music producer and
but there
musician.
is a clear-cut dynamic there.
Well, like take Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys, you know, or Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like, these are guys that would not have met them otherwise. If Jay-Z had became a billionaire, you know, through tech or, you know, or finance, you know, he's an investor, you know, then, you know, he probably would not have had opportunity to have met her and gotten to know her that way. However, because he works in the same industry as her, he has proximity. Now, and maybe he's more successful. In fact, certainly he is more successful than her in it, you know. However, should he have not married Beyonce?
No, I think that example is you're right on with that example. But the question would be, they met in a different era. That relationship developed before the Me Too era. So the question becomes, if you take that same scenario and you put them in the Me Too era, does that happen? And we'd have to know more about their courtship. Did Beyonce flirt with him, or was he the first one to make a move? Because remember, Swizz Beatz was married when he got with Alicia Keys. So in this day and age, he might be in trouble. So here's a question: Did Alicia Keys become the homewrecker because she was seducing him, or was he seducing her? It's just a different dynamic. To me, that model that you use is good, but again, I gotta wonder how that model would work in 2021 because so much has changed for the worse, in my opinion, in the last 4 or 5 years in America. And those relationships that you're using were established 10 years ago.
Yeah,
So
well, I mean, the laws haven't changed. Just the way people exercise these laws are ridiculous. And I'm sick of these. I'm sick of the bitches. You know, like, and by that I mean feminists. You know, I don't like them because what they're doing is they're making things like this. You know, we shouldn't even be having these conversations. And then you're talking about you know, oh, it's 2021. It's always a year. And every year they just figure out ways to, you know, to get Jay-Z's penis out Beyonce's vagina. And that is a situation that benefits both of them. You know, they're not helping women with this. They're not helping anybody. They're just doing stuff because they're bored and they only look good on filters. You know, awful human beings, each of them.
yeah, it's unbelievable the environment that's been created out here, man. I can't disagree with you on that. It's horrible, man, and it's getting worse by the day.
I remember in the 90s, right? It was perfectly okay. In the 90s, I was working for this bank, and people were talking about what they seen on a show called the Jerry Springer Show, which was popular then. Now, and it's a bunch of women that work there, and they were saying they were talking about an episode of the show, and I overheard them talking, and I just chimed in. And I was like, yeah, I watched the Jerry Springer Show. However, I wish that they didn't blur out the titties. It was perfectly fine for me to say that back then because it is, and I did. They have fights on it, and sometimes at the end of the show, the women raised up their shirts, you know, like on some Mardi Gras stuff for Jerry beads. Yeah, and I was like, what's the point in doing that if they blur it out? I wish they didn't blur out the titties, like, you know.
See, and that stuff that you're talking about, man, that was beautiful times. You know, Freaknik, Luke's Freak Show, all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's just a different era, man. And what I'm saying is like, okay,
I agree. I agree. So don't do that now. Don't do that now. But you know, should I be second guessing like the Camera and Chloe Bailey situation? No.
I'm taking my 10K and going to Rio. But I'll give you an example about what I mean by the standards today, though. Okay, so you said you can't stand enthusiastic consent theory, which is insane. But think about this: in the sexual harassment, it is stupid. But I'm just saying, like, okay, anyone that's employed right now knows about the sexual harassment training that's become like mandatory at most corporations, universities, and government jobs. And they have this new standard they put in these policies that's come down from these feminists called quid pro quo or hostile workplace harassment. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. See, that hostile workplace harassment standard is what could really sink this guy that you're exposing this conversation today.
I gave the disclaimer of, you know, within the confines of your laws.
Yeah.
I know that is weird out there. I'm not obtuse. People talking like 90s was 30. Listen, I am not an imbecile. You know, I know what year I live in. It's nothing like that. You know, what I'm saying is within legal confines, and, you know, don't pass up a reasonably decent opportunity if it presents themselves. And if you work in that kind of industry simply because, you know, you used to be her photographer or some crap like that. You know, if you're her teacher, and don't be stupid. Like if you was her teacher and she graduated, it's just best to not do crap like that, you know. But, you know, reasonable equal power dynamics and all that given, yes, you should. Some guys just work and stuff like that. We are far removed, and I gave this example on Bernard's time. We're far removed from the, you know, Hugh Hefner days, where it just was what it was. He is owner of Playboy magazine, and this is how he gets down as a result of his ownership of Playboy magazine. Mm-hmm. You know, like I understand that. I'm saying,
they had the sex parties, man. Because remember they used to have those DVDs from Playboy, the Playboy parties.
I didn't watch those.
I did.
When I was young, I only got to watch the porn that my dad was watching.
The difference is that those were celebrities. See, those Playboy Mansion, they were on DVD. And the difference between what you're talking about and those parties, these were like the celebrities, you know, doing their thing in the mansion, in the little phone parties that they used to throw. That was a beautiful time to be a masculine heterosexual man. But now that what they've done, they've boxed heterosexual men into a tighter and tighter and tighter box. to like, I'd say maybe, 2/3 of the men, they don't know how to navigate the current environment. So what is happening is that the men that are in elite position, they kind of are in a position where, because so many men have dropped out of the sexual competition, now the men are in a position to let the women pursue them. And I just think that it's much wiser, unless you got this scenario where you said it's equal power, where if you're in a more powerful position in a dynamic, it's better just to let the women come to you, in my opinion, if there's a dynamic disparity, in my opinion.
Here's my point of view of this and stuff.
Okay.
Whatever position you're in, whatever, you feel like you want to make a move on someone, like I always say, be straight direct. And then let that person choose of their own free will to reciprocate. If they say no, then respect that. And just let it be.
And you see,
and if they say yes, then there's nothing to worry about because now it's equal exchange. But if they say no and you still push at it, then this is why stuff will backfire on you and stuff.
You see, no. So I want to put you. I want to see, and this is why I think that mode 1 is on an as needed basis. So you are behind the camera now, Mel. Yeah, you are behind the camera now, and so shoot your shot. And I'm not talking about you want to take her out to dinner. You want Chloe Bailey to suck your penis. I want you to mode 1 in that situation. Tell me what you say. Shoot your shot.
I'll shoot my shot, just like you said. Yeah, after we finish our business. Hold it. After, like you said, after we doing our business with professional business with the camera, then I will shoot my shot. If she reciprocates on her own free will of my advances, there's nothing to worry about. If it's positive. But if she doesn't, if she don't want me, then I have to respect her. Plain simple.
Has ARC chimed in on this conversation yet?
What, did he came on today? Or?
I'm just wondering if ARC, because you guys mentioned mode 1, and I think that's a good thing.
That's what he would really say. If the woman says no, then you gotta leave her alone.
See, I'd like to hear ARC's take. I hope he does.
I heard him say this many a times.
No, but I'd like to hear his take on this specific.
But I know, yeah.
Because he's a person that he's in that
with
environment.
Fresh and fit.
And this is why I say again.
Wait, fellas. No worries. I gotta go in a second, but
right.
I didn't hear that last part. I got a phone call. But Mel, did you shoot your shot? What did you say?
No, if I shoot my shot, yeah, like I said, yeah. What's up, honey? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yo, I think you're real fine and sexy. I think we should go in the back somewhere and let me plow you in from behind. If she says yes, then do it. I'm just being sarcastic, but
no, you're not.
But either way, man. Either way, hold it, game changer. Don't do this, please. Yeah, I know what you do. Either way, how you say it, you still made a sexual advance, and she reciprocates to your advances. Then you do your thing. But if she does not want you, he says no, I'm not interested in that way. Then you have to respect that. Leave her alone. That's the problem with most of these guys. They keep making their moves consistently.
I get what you're saying. But it's not a simple yes or no. And I'm only interrupting.
It is a simple yes or no. That's the problem.
No, Mel. If she feels insulted by your attempt, then she is going to ruin your life. That's what happened with the guy from The Shy. That's what happened with that. I forget his name, but that's what happened with that guy that played Eazy-E on Thing. His career was just taking off, and he got the whammy because of because how she felt about his advances.
I
guess CC.
So I gotta really think.
I'd rather her attract CC. He's gonna go up to her until he wants to bend over. Me, I'm more the type where.
You can do X-rated or PG-rated. Either way.
I like when women come up to me and they say, "Hey, let's go have a drink. What are you doing after?" I like when women initiate because now I know that her interest is definitely higher than 50%. And the only time I've ever used the tactic that Mel is talking about when I'm like out of town or I'm in a different place where I don't know anyone, then I'll definitely be very aggressive. But typically in an environment like we're talking about,
in the work environment,
it's situational. Exactly.
Yeah, but the fact that she always was attracted to you even when she saw you anyway. So that was going to happen if you came at her PG rated or X rated.
But there's a possibility that she's not actually attracted to you.
Then you leave her alone.
No, then your ass is fired.
You already invited her into the closet, and she's pissed.
If I invited her,
and now she ruined your career.
If she says no,
you're fired,
no.
Emmy. You're fired. That's what you are. You're fired.
Nah.
Well,
If
you're
she
not just fired.
if she
You're
says
not just
no,
fired,
I'm not
it's
interested.
impossible for you to get work as a cameraman in other places too, because now you're that nigga that invites women into the closet.
Yes.
I gotta go.
Emmy, you're fired. You're fired, bro.
If she says no when you make your advances at her and you respect her decision, okay, I respect your decision.
Here, Emmy,
that's it.
I know
Walk away.
I know that game changer has to
But
go.
see, you have to realize most people say
I gotta go. Final thoughts.
Okay, I would just my final response would be to Emmy is that the one thing that you're forgetting is that we're talking about a subjective standard that is used by these HR departments. So you may be just like, okay, I made that aggressive move. She said no. That's not how they see it. Because
in the HR department,
this is my last statement. Can I just finish, bro? So if she says I'm uncomfortable working with ME now, remember you only took one shot at her, but now she goes HR and says I am so uncomfortable with ME. He told me that he wants to bend me over and fuck me in the closet. ME, in this day and age, you're a black man. Your ass is out of there. But with that, game changer, thanks for having me on. Emmy, you guys have a good one. Peace out to y'all, man. Have a good weekend.
But wait a minute. You at a work environment. Y'all both work at a job together. You ain't supposed to be hitting at people at your job, period. I don't advocate for that. That's what we done after work. Not during work, yeah.
I mean, the scenario I gave was after work.
Oh, it was after work? Then that's different.
I say like, okay, yeah.
But
still, she can mess up your work reputation because
no, it can't because that was after hours, after work, away from the job.
No, she still has a name. She's still a celebrity. She just goes around and say, "Hey, this nigga does this." I get what you're saying, Mel, but yeah, hungry as hell.
That's a fact, yeah. Like, why would she just fire you just out in the opening like that if you did something more continuing? But yeah, we gonna agree to disagree on this. Yeah.
All right. Peace, Mel. Let me get smooth.
Take it, brother, man. Take it till next time.
Smooth. First and last thoughts. I gotta head out. Smooth. Say something or I'm gonna drop you because there's weirdos out there with their penis out. You got something to say?
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go for it.
Yeah, we get you. What's good, Smooth?
Yeah, I was going to say, man, yo, Mel, man, you got to let ARC go, man. That nigga going to ruin your fucking life, man. Anybody that says that kind of shit.
Dude, man, you don't even know how to do more one period. So how you going to tell me ruin my life and shit?
You're setting yourself up
I'm not setting myself up for nothing. I don't go.
You ain't about to tell no female at the workplace. Let me tell you.
Did you just hear? I don't mess with women at my job. Period. Even ARC said that. You don't mess with women at your job.
Forget Mr. Cole. You need to forget.
Why would you fuck women at your job where you get paid?
All right, fellas, I'm hungry. Y'all starting up a new can of worms.
I mean, that's common sense.
Anyway,
the porn industry is different.
Please don't listen to Mel. Thank you.
Why would you fuck a bitch at your job where you get paid?
All right, Mel, hold up. Thank you to the Cash Apps and Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently, and those who participate in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. And yeah, this is Game Changer 00100. Game over. Peace.